Welcome back to the channel BBC Coin. Today we are talking about the mysterious and highly searched 1975 1-cent Liberty coin of the United States, also known as the 1975 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark. Most people ignore it. Most people spend it. But collectors know something different. This tiny copper coin could be hiding surprising value depending on its condition, errors, and rarity. So stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to identify whether your 1975 penny is just 1 cent, or a hidden treasure worth thousands. Microphone Section 1. What is the 1975 no mint mark penny? 0.45 to 2.30. The 1975 Lincoln penny is part of the famous U.S. Lincoln cent series that began in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. In 1959, the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial on the back, and that design continued through 1975. Now here's something important. White right pointing backhand index a no mint mark penny in 1975 does not mean it is an error. It simply means it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. At that time, Philadelphia coins were produced without any mint mark at all. So if you find a 1975 penny with no letter under the date, it is completely normal. Millions upon millions were produced, over 5 billion coins from Philadelphia alone. That means most of them are common, but not all. Microphone Section 2. Why collectors care about this coin, 2.30 to 4.30. Even though it is common, collectors are still interested in the 1975 penny for 3 main reasons. White medium star 1. Condition. Grade. White medium star 2. Color. Red, brown, or red-brown. White medium star 3. Mint errors. A regular worn-out penny might only be worth face value, but a high-grade, uncirculated red specimen can jump in value dramatically. For example, circulated coin, 1 cent to 10 cents. Uncirculated MS-65, $1 to $10. High MS-67 plus grade, $40 to $150 plus. And in extremely rare cases, perfect condition coins have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. That's where the excitement begins. Microphone Section 3. The $1,200 plus value claim, is it real? 4.30 to 6.30. You may have heard claims online that a 1975 penny is worth $1,200 or more. Let's be honest and clear. White right pointing backhand index most 1975 pennies are not worth $1,200. White right pointing backhand index, but some rare, high-grade or error coins can reach very high prices. For example, perfect mint state coins, MS-68 red, have been known to reach thousands of dollars at auction. Rare error coins can sell for $200 to $1,500 depending on the mistake. So the value is not in the year alone, it is in condition. Today, we are diving into a small but incredibly fascinating piece of American history. The 1976 United States 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln Memorial penny, specifically the no mint mark version. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary penny, something you might find in your pocket, under your sofa, or lying forgotten in an old jar. But what if I told you that some of these coins, especially in the right condition, are being talked about in the collector world for values starting from hundreds, and even up to $1,200 or more in rare high-grade cases? Yes, you heard that right. So today, we are going to uncover everything. The history, the design, the minting secrets, rare errors, and why collectors are suddenly paying attention to this ordinary penny. Let's begin. Classical building # the historical background of the 1976 penny. The year 1976 was not an ordinary year for the United States. It marked the 200th anniversary of American independence, also known as the Bicentennial Celebration. Across the country, everything was being celebrated, from parades to commemorative coins. The U.S. Mint released special designs for the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins. But interestingly, the Lincoln penny was not redesigned. Instead, it kept its classic design. Front, obverse Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Reverse, the Lincoln Memorial Building. This design was created by
Victor de Brenner, Lincoln Portrait.
Frank Gasparro, Lincoln Memorial Reverse. So while other coins were celebrating freedom in a bold new style, the penny quietly continued its traditional look. And that's exactly why collectors today find it so interesting. What does no mint mark mean? Now let's talk about something important, the no mint mark feature. On the 1976 penny, if you do not see a letter like D, Denver Mint, S, San Francisco Mint, then you are looking at a coin produced in Philadelphia Mint. And here's the key fact. White right pointing backhand index Philadelphia pennies from this era usually do not carry a mint mark at all. That means no mint mark is not an error. It is actually normal for Philadelphia coins. But still, collectors love them when they are in top condition. Gear hash specifications of the 1976 1-cent coin. Let's break down the technical details.
Composition 95% copper, 5% zinc.
Weight 3.11 grams. Diameter 19.05 millimeters. Edge plain. Designer Victor D. Brenner Frank Gasborough. This was still the era of copper-heavy pennies, before the US switched to cheaper zinc-based coins in the 1980s. So already, this coin carries more copper value than modern pennies. Bar chart mintage. Why this coin is so common. Now here is where things get interesting. In 1976, the US Mint produced billions of pennies. Philadelphia alone struck white right pointing backhand index over 4.6 billion coins. And Denver produced even more. So yes, in terms of quantity, this is not a rare coin. Most people assume that means it is worthless. But that is where collectors disagree. Because in the coin world, condition is everything. Money bag value of the 1976 no mint mark penny. Let's talk real numbers. Most circulated coins, the ones that have been used in daily transactions, are worth white right pointing backhand index 1 cent to 10 cents. Basically face value. But here is where things change dramatically. Uncirculated coins, mint state. If your coin was never used and still looks shiny red. White right pointing backhand index $1 to $8 typically. White right pointing backhand index higher grades can reach $20 to $50 plus. Large red circle high grade red coins, MS65 plus. In exceptional condition, with perfect color and sharp detail. White right pointing backhand index $100 to $300 plus in collector markets. Gemstone rare auction level pieces. In extremely rare situations, professionally graded coins with perfect surfaces and strong eye appeal have been reported reaching white right pointing backhand index around $500 to $1,200 plus or more. But this only applies to top tier, certified mint state examples, not regular pocket change coins. So yes, condition is everything. Today we are talking about the 1984 Lincoln 1-cent coin with no mint mark, one of the most commonly overlooked coins in American history, yet secretly one of the most interesting for collectors. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will know exactly what makes the 1984 penny special, why no mint mark is completely normal, what errors to look for, and how some of these pennies can reach values starting from face value all the way up to $1,200 or more depending on condition and rarity. Let's dive in. History of the 1984 Lincoln cent. The 1984 Lincoln penny was minted by the United States Mint during a time when the country was producing billions of pennies every year. This coin features Abraham Lincoln on the front, obverse. The Lincoln Memorial on the back, reverse. Designed by Victor David Brenner, portrait design origin. By 1984, the US Mint had fully switched to zinc-based pennies with a thin copper coating, instead of solid copper. This was done to reduce production costs as copper prices increased. That means every 1984 penny you see is not solid copper, it is mostly zinc inside. Round pushpin. Why your 1984 penny has no mint mark. One of the biggest misunderstandings about coins is the phrase, no mint mark equals rare. That is not true in most cases. For the 1984 Lincoln cent, if there is no mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia. Philadelphia coins traditionally do not carry a mint mark for that era. So a 1984 penny with no mint mark is actually the most common version. Millions and millions were made. However, and this is important, rarity does not come from the mint mark alone, it comes from errors and condition. Today we are talking about the 1993 Lincoln 1-cent coin from the United States. At first glance, it looks completely normal. You might even have one in your pocket right now. But here is the shocking truth. Some versions of this coin, especially rare high-grade examples and error coins, have sold for prices reaching up to $1,200 or even more in the collector's market. So before you spend your next penny, watch this video carefully, because you might be holding a hidden treasure without even knowing it. Coin overview, 045 to 230. The 1993 Lincoln penny is part of the famous Lincoln cent series, which has been in circulation since 1909. This coin features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor D. Brenner. On the back, you will see the Lincoln Memorial design, which was used from 1959 until 2008. Now here is something very important. In 1993, the US Mint produced billions of these pennies. There are three main types. 1993 Philadelphia penny, no mint mark. 1993 D Denver penny, with a small d under the date. 1993 S San Francisco proof coin. Many people get confused and think no mint mark means rare. But actually, no mint mark simply means it was made in Philadelphia. Billions were produced, which means most of them are worth only face value, 1 cent. But not all coins are equal. Gemstone why some 1993 pennies are valuable, 2:30 to 5 o'clock. So why would a penny that is so common be worth up to $1,200? The answer is simple. White right pointing backhand index condition. White right pointing backhand index rarity in high grade.
Jobbra mutató kéz, mint errors.
White right pointing backhand index collector demand. Let's break it down. Most 1993 pennies you find in circulation are heavily worn. These are only worth 1 cent. But when a coin is preserved in perfect condition, something amazing happens. Collectors classify coins using grading systems like MS65, MS67, and MS69. A perfect red-colored mint state coin can become extremely valuable because it is very rare to find one in flawless condition after more than 30 years. Some high-grade 1993 pennies have sold for hundreds of dollars, and in exceptional cases, especially certified MS68 or MS69 examples, prices can reach or exceed $1,000 depending on market demand. Left-pointing magnifying glass the 1993 D penny, 5 to 630. Now let's talk specifically about the 1993 D penny from the Denver Mint. This coin has a small D mint mark under the date. Most of these coins are common, but here is the interesting part. If you find a 1993 D penny in extremely high-grade condition, especially with bright red luster and no damage, its value can rise significantly. Collectors are willing to pay premium prices for coins that look almost brand new. That is why some of these rare top-grade examples have reached values close to or even above $1,200 in special auction situations. But remember, this does not apply to ordinary circulated coins. Warning sign #error coins, the real moneymaker, 6:30 to 9 o'clock. Now here is where things get really exciting. Error coins are the hidden gems of coin collecting. For the 1993 penny, collectors look for heavy check mark double die errors, heavy checkmark off-center strikes, heavy checkmark misaligned printing,
Fettes Häkchen die Cracks.
heavy checkmark rare varieties like close AM issues. These errors happen during the minting process, making each coin unique. And uniqueness equals value. Some rare 1993 penny error coins have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the severity and visibility of the mistake. In rare auction cases, combined with high grade and strong collector demand, total value can push near or above $1,200. That is why coin hunters always check every detail carefully. How to check your 1993 penny, 9 to 10:30. If you want to check your coin at home, here is what you should do. First, look at the date. It should say 1993. Then check the mint mark under the date. No letter equals Philadelphia.
D égale Denver.
S equals San Francisco proof. Next, inspect the condition. Is it shiny and red? Or dull and brown? Then look closely for errors. Are the letters doubled? Is anything misprinted? Does the coin look unusual? Even small details can make a big difference in value. If your coin looks perfect or has an error, you should consider getting it graded by a professional coin grading service. Moneybag Market Value explained, 10:30 to 11:30. Let's be realistic about value. Most 1993 pennies are worth white right pointing backhand index 1 cent in circulation. White right pointing backhand index a few cents to a few dollars in uncirculated condition. But rare cases change everything.